Well, hello, it is Wellness Wednesday again. I am Rose Hollow from Defiance, Ohio, and I see people here in the office, and I also see people via telehealth. And I'm a board-certified naturopathic doctor and a licensed ecclesiastical holistic practitioner. And my Wellness Wednesday videos are never intended to diagnose or treat anything. These are merely for informational purposes. A lot of this information is based on my own personal experience, that of working with my clients, and my own opinions based on the research that I've done and my own education. So with all of that in mind, I wanted to mention that this is part 3 of what has turned out to be a series for estrogen dominance. And estrogen dominance is really not a disease or anything like that. It's just basically this bucket of symptoms that a lot of women have where our estrogen to progesterone ratio is not ideal. And so we have these symptoms that are related to that. And it varies so much from person to person. If you want to try to figure out if this pertains to you, I really encourage you to go back and watch another of my videos to see actually, it was my last video, to see if this is you, if you think it's you. If you're a health DIYer, like many of us are, perhaps this is something you can help yourself with. So this week I wanted to talk about supplements and herbs to combat estrogen dominance. And being a master herbalist, I thought maybe I should share some information about this too, because it doesn't always just involve using a bioidentical progesterone cream. There are also a lot of other things that we can do. So prometrium, I'll start with that. So prometrium is something that is often prescribed. It's a pharmaceutical that's prescribed by physicians. And that is the pharmaceutical grade version of natural progesterone, and it can come in many forms: oral, topical, troches, or sublingual, or suppositories. I have used these items myself. I really don't prefer them. I don't think the oral works the same way, it doesn't work as well, but it did help in the beginning when I didn't know about progesterone cream. So those things are out there. I don't want you to think that the only way to deal with this is alone or, you know, with a naturopath or something like that. You can go to your physician and be prescribed these things. If cost is an issue, sometimes insurance will cover these things. So I wanted everybody to know about that we don't always have to use herbs or natural. There are safe bioidentical options out there. For me, they weren't as effective, but I do keep a backup of those things in my home when I run out of my cream, so I can use those too. So just being transparent about that. Okay, so you may see in supplements or creams or products out there that are for estrogen dominance or for hormonal imbalances that contain wild yam extract or wild yam cream. Something with only wild yam is not progesterone. So that's important to know. Like the USP bioidentical progesterone cream is manufactured in a process that includes wild yam, but it's different than just the raw wild yam cream. So it can be helpful for some women to just use the wild yam cream, but if you really have severe symptoms that are related to the estrogen progesterone ratio being really off kilter, then that might not be the best option for you. So as with many adaptogenic herbs that don't add progesterone but help normalize hormone function, they're not usually of great help with severe hormone imbalance. Not usually, but sometimes. So it's kind of an experiment, right? So if you feel like your symptoms are really severe, I would just go for the progesterone. or go for herbs that include the progesterone. But if your symptoms are just kind of like, I can still function, but I think I need a little bit of hormonal support, what else can I do? And I really encourage you to try these things because they are a little bit cheaper than using the bioidentical progesterone. So the first thing is called Vitex, V-I-T-E-X, or chasteberry. And it's kind of like an adaptogenic herb which helps to normalize hormones, or in other words, it attempts to raise low hormones and lower high hormones. So when we have a lot of estrogen and just a little progesterone here, even if they're within normal range, if the ratio is really far apart, the Vitex will help to do this. So it works as an adaptogen. It helps our bodies adapt to the stress of whatever is going on in our lives. So just because, though, you might be low on estrogen or low on progesterone, or high with estrogen, low or with progesterone, whatever, does not mean that Vitex will raise those levels. It just sometimes helps some people. So it really depends on your body, but it's definitely something that a lot of people try and find that works. And if it does, yay, it's not expensive. And if it's effective, then hooray for you. So something else that is called DIM, D-I-M, and it's this big long word that I'm not even going to try to pronounce because I can't. If you read it, you wouldn't be able to either. But luckily, we just call it DIM, D-I-M, and indole-3-carbinol are chemicals derived from cruciferous vegetables whose action is meant to change or convert the bad estrogens to the good estrogens. Did you know that we have different kinds of estrogen in our body? Who knew? So the cruciferous vegetables, which of course you could just increase your intake of cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts and cabbage and things like that, you could have the same effect. But if you want to take DIM, you could. The thing with DIM is that, for example, I tried DIM when my liver wasn't functioning optimally. I didn't know at the time, but I had a lot of liver congestion, and DIM really made things worse because it was taking the you know, bad estrogen kind of out of the picture and putting it in the garbage dump, which is my digestive system. And then it was just sitting there and it was clogging up my liver, which was not functioning properly. And I was constipated and I wasn't basically pooping it out. So if you are not pooping every day, if you are constipated, this could really be a big issue for you. So before you take DIM, I would really suggest considering using coffee enemas or magnesium citrate or something to get things moving and really make sure that you're getting half your body weight in ounces of water per day. If you know a practitioner like me who practices some sort of pH balancing, that would be very helpful, but you really need to make sure that your detoxification pathways, especially your colon, are working optimally before you start to use DIM, or you may feel worse, or it may just be a waste of time and money. So that's my experience with it. Also, people with certain polymorphisms, we're talking about genetics now, whole different topic, or genetic mutations, like some of the MTHFR, the methylation pathway mutations are present, then you may not do very well with DIM either, no matter what you do. So for you, if this applies to you, I really encourage you to try to get your DIM from food. As I mentioned, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and you should really be getting this stuff in your diet anyway, unless you have some sort of sensitivity to it for some reason. You know, these are important for health anyway. So and increasing fiber. So any kind of fruit or vegetable, beans, things like that, that increase the amount of fiber in your digestive system, and you're drinking lots and lots of filtered water, that can help as well. That can just help clear out the estrogen from your body. So constipation, not good for estrogen dominance. Okay, so how about calcium D-glucarate? That's a supplement that helps to lower LDL, that is cholesterol, and helps remove excess estrogen and helps the liver detox. So that's something you could consider trying. Again, that's calcium D-glucarate. How about L-glutamine? I love glutamine. For most of my clients at some point are usually recommended. If they stick around for a while, they are recommended to try glutamine, because a lot of these issues really come down to digestive health or gut health. And once we get gut health under control, it's really good to go in there and kind of clean up the mess and do some repair. So L-glutamine improves gastrointestinal health because it is a vital nutrient for the intestines to rebuild and repair themselves. It can help heal ulcers and leaky gut by acting as nature's Band-Aid, to protect your gut from further damage. L-glutamine is also an essential neurotransmitter in the brain, and it helps with memory, focus, and concentration, which a lot of people complain about when they have estrogen dominance symptoms, is their cognitive function kind of decreases. I think that this is mommy brain. Honestly, I think a lot of people who say they have mommy brain, this is them, and this could really help. L-glutamine also improves IBS and diarrhea by balancing mucus production. That helps result in healthy bowel movements. So yay, that's what we need when we're dealing with an excess of the bad kind of estrogen in our bodies. It also promotes muscle growth and decreases muscle wasting. So get yourself some L-glutamine, guys. But if you have something going on your gut that hasn't been addressed yet, you really should address that first and then go back in and work on healing your gut. So L-glutamine curbs cravings for sugar and alcohol. It improves metabolism and cellular detoxification. And there are even people who have blood sugar imbalance issues that report that L-glutamine helps to give them the support they need for that as well. So as usual, it's self-experimentation here. You have a lot of options, but before you go out spending a lot of money on different supplements, again, our bodies really prefer getting our nutrients from real food. So if you're eating a lot of junk food, prepackaged food, things like that, if you can, try to eliminate some of that and replace it with whole foods, fruits and vegetables all the way, you guys. This is basics here, and maybe it sounds a little bit too simplistic, but it's easy to get out of the habit of healthy eating. So it's just a reminder to go get yourself, I mean, it's early September. Our grocery stores and farmers markets are full of all kinds of options for this. So it's a great time to get on board and get back on track with eating our fruits and vegetables, making smoothies, making juice, all those great kinds of things. So the big question here is, are you digesting what you're eating and absorbing the nutrition from what you're eating? And are you eating a well and varied diet filled with 90 essential nutrients that we need on a daily basis? Cleaning up the diet can save you lots of money. So I know good, healthy, organic food is expensive, but it's kind of like an insurance policy. It gets things moving. It gives us everything we need, the basic building blocks of life. So if you have that missing, I would say start there. That's foundational. It's so important for any kind of health issue that we're having, that we're eating properly and really feeding ourselves and taking care of our gut. It's so basic, yet vital, vital. So, P.S. How do we know if we're digesting and absorbing this stuff? So we all have HCl. It's a stomach acid that helps disinfect the contents of our stomachs and digest animal proteins. So it's really a good idea, I think, for most people, if there's any gut issues whatsoever, which is really tied in with this estrogen dominance stuff, that you are taking a good broad spectrum digestive enzyme. You may want to consider taking HCl in the enzyme or separately. The thing with HCl is that if you take it and you have heartburn, you want to stop taking it. So just putting that out there, not the right time for that. But digestive enzymes, I love the Enzymedica brand. They have a lot of good broad spectrum enzymes. I take them on a daily basis and they help me quite a bit. Probiotics, I would definitely get some professional input on this from somebody who's used to it, because if you have gut issues, you can actually make problems worse if you are taking probiotics at the wrong time or the wrong type. So definitely do your research at least on these things. You don't want to set yourself up for more issues. Prebiotics, again, all the fibrous material that we're eating on a daily basis, our fruits and vegetables, really, really important for cleansing that estrogen out of the body. And then, hey guys, chew your food. I see so many people just stuffing their faces and eating so quickly. I'm one of those people who is one of the first people in a restaurant, one of the last ones to leave. I take my time when I eat. I really chew my food well, and everybody at the table is always waiting for me at the end. But I know digestion starts in the mouth, so you gotta chew your food. So I hope that these tips and tricks and lifestyle interventions and herb suggestions and nutritional suggestions are helpful to some of you out there. If you like this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to watch more videos like this, and share it with a friend if you know somebody who might benefit from it. And if you have a suggestion for a future Wellness Wednesday video, I would love to hear it, because I'm always trying to come up with new ideas to share with you guys. So if there's something that's plaguing you or something you just can't figure out, leave me a comment and maybe I will do a video on it. So everybody have a great rest of your week. Eat well, chew your food, get that digestion moving, and I will see you next week. Bye.